It's the final premium live event of the year, ladies and gentlemen. NXT Deadline. Oh, can't wait for this show. One of my favorite shows of the year where we get the Iron Survivor Challenge. 5 matches have been announced for the show. And what we know will be kicking off this PLE as well is Ricky Saints versus Femi for the NXT Championship. We've got Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dane. We've got Ethan Page defending the North American Championship against Mr. Iguana. Our Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match, which features Lola Vice, Jordynne Grace, Kendal Gray, Kelani, Jordynne, and Soul Ruca. And for the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, we've got Myles, Borne, Dion, Lennox, Javon Evans, Leon Slater from TNA, and now NXT's own Joe Hendry. What a lineup, what a show. I'm buzzing for it. NXT was great to have you in the hot seat as always. We're going to be explaining how the Iron Survivor Challenge match works for those that are unaware, give our predictions for the show, maybe have a couple of other insight parts as well. Perhaps maybe some links to John Cena as well, which we'll talk about later on. But first off, excitement levels of the show, please.
Yeah, pretty high, man. Like, I was a bit skeptical last year when we did the deadline predictions, but after last year's Iron Survivor matches, this is just like, it's such a super exciting match dynamic. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to easily say, you know, I don't think there's actually a lot wrong with the show. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to say like an 8 confidently.
I love you say confidently as well. For me, it's actually. I'm going to go a 9. Iron Survivor Challenge matches have become almost my favorite of the year. Outside of the Royal Rumble, I feel like it's probably my next favorite match stipulation, just purely because it's bonkers, but it works. Just for those that don't know the rules of an Iron Survivor Challenge match, let's quickly go through it. 2 men start the match. They will wrestle for 5 minutes. Then after 5 minutes, another superstar comes in. Then another 5 minutes, a 4th superstar comes in. And then 5 minutes after that, the last superstar comes in. Now, the last superstar that comes in, of course, is the freshest, but they have the least time to make impact because this match is all about getting the most pinfalls possible, submissions, pretty much getting your score the highest at the end of the 25 minutes, kind of like an Iron Man match. If you are pinned, submitted, or you're losing a fall, you end up in a penalty box for sometimes 90 seconds, sometimes 2 minutes. Adds a bit of the flavor because while you're in that penalty box, you can't be getting any falls on your name. So it adds some intriguing excitement times there throughout this match. And yeah, lots of twists and turns that just keep you guessing. So for me, I'm really, really looking forward to it, which makes no surprise then when I turn around and say, yeah, it's the match I'm most looking forward to. But I'll tell you what, for to pick one or the other, I'm looking forward to the women's stacked lineup from top to bottom. 4 potential breakout stars that are ready for the women's championship scene, and Kendal Gray, who has been a breakout star of her own as Evolve Women's Champion, and she is starting to get her flowers. Yes, maybe flavor of the week, JC Jane called the other day, but I tell you what, I don't think it's just going to be a week. I think that Kendal Gray is here to stay.
Yeah, I think the women's one, I think obviously has a better chance of a wider variety of winners, which I think makes it a bit more exciting, where I think at least 4 out of the 5 of these women could potentially win it. I think the men's is slightly less, 2, maybe 3, but I think they're still going to be both really exciting matches. And even like I said, the rest of the card, Starks versus Femi. I hope this is like a third and done with these two, because they've done 2 before. I believe this is the 3rd version of this match. So hopefully there's no more after this. Even Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana, because, oh my God, the build on NXT for this week for it, I was dying with laughter. Ethan Page is so good. Like, he is so main roster ready. I don't know how AEW dropped the ball with this guy. He is such high entertainment value. Bring him up to the main roster, put him on SmackDown with Chelsea Green, for the love of God.
Their time is coming. Yeah. I think not just yet, but it is on the way. You could say the clock is ticking, which I think could be a nice little one as we've got Deadline here for us. If you
start dropping Back to the Future references on me, I might just leave.
Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. But what I will do, though, I'm going to go back to our comments section. Just quickly say hello to C Nation Doc, who's got nice and involved early in the comments section today. Says, let's go. Can't wait. And also, says, why is Ricky Saints versus Femi for the NXT Championship the first match? This should be the main event. And the reason he knows that is because Ava announced it on NXT. Literally, I guess it's just because the Iron Survivor Challenge matches are probably seen as the hook of this show. Maybe feel that maybe you might have one that's early in the show, one that's the main event. That way, I suppose it just you get a bit of breathing room in the middle. But yeah, obviously they're starting off hot with an NXT Championship match, and that's why it's going to be our first match that we'll be discussing on the show.
Yeah, I think there's normally when they put a world title first, it normally means the result more than likely goes the way you don't want it to go. Like I remember WrestleMania, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. I remember that was first on at WrestleMania, and that didn't go the way a lot of people thought it was going to go. I think there was one recently as well that was like Brock Lesnar, I think, was on first at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins as well. Seth won it, but I think, again, that's just Brock Lesnar being like, well, if I'm losing, I'm going on first. But there has been a couple of versions of it where, like I said, world title goes on first, and it normally is it's a result that a lot of people don't want to happen because they want the show to finish on a high. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be a weird match order. I very much doubt we'll get the women's fourth and then the men's fifth, the Iron Survivor matches. I imagine women's will probably go in the middle, or I very much doubt second. I'd go third, probably.
I actually think it's going to be the second match on the show. I do.
Really?
If I had to predict now on match order, I think we've got the NXT Championship match. I think we have the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. I think then you get your comedy, if you want, in
Mr.
the middle
Iguana,
with Ethan Page and Mr. Iguana, I think goes there. Then we get personal, again, with Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dane. And then I think we go for the main event, the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
That's if I had to go with it right now. But yeah. Yeah, I've got a message here as well. Thank you very much there from Danilo. Says here, did you see the tweet of Callie a week ago showing frustration of not being chosen by John Cena? Feeling that Callie should have been there, and she can still take out Kendal as a mystery attacker and then reveal that later. And let's not forget that she was the inaugural Evolve Women's Champion, has everything to be a WrestleMania main eventer. She certainly does. Look, she's a very talented person, Callie Armstrong. She's obviously got a lot of tools in the locker. Kendal Gray, obviously, is someone that is the Evolve Women's Champion right now. Just seems to be, look, JC Jane said flavor of the week, and unfortunately, I don't want to use that term because it does seem quite derogatory, but she is someone that's got momentum behind her right now. Callie has when she's been on NXT, but she's not been exposed enough to the NXT audience, I would imagine. But look, this is John Cena's picks. It's no one else's at this point. So, I mean, I guess Cena has his reasons of who and why he's picked there, and there's only so many spots.
I very much doubt John Cena even picked him. I think it's very much a case of a lot of these guys were picked by whoever. I just think they try and almost save grace by saying John Cena picked him. But yeah, look, it just makes more sense for the Evolve Champion to be involved. Although, why isn't the men's Evolve Champion also in the men's one, I suppose? Because there is an argument that both of them should be in there. I think the guy, I forget his name, the Erling Harden looking guy, Jackson something or something like that. Yeah. He's been champion for like so long, so I don't understand why he hasn't actually got a spot in the men's one. To be fair,
to be honest, look, I'm someone who doesn't really follow Evolve that much, but I've seen Kendal great enough on NXT to say to me, yeah, I like the idea that she's a wild card, deserves a spot. Her in-ring work is fantastic. It always has been. It's just she's lacking the character side of things. But like I said, fans are on the side right now. Jackson Drake, I mean, I don't watch Evolve enough, and what I saw the performance on NXT in Madison Square Garden was impressive, but at the same time, I've not really seen enough of him on NXT to say this guy needs to be on this premium live event at this particular time. So that'd be my case in point for it. But look, Callie's got a bright future ahead, as Danilo said there. Look, future potential WrestleMania main events, she could be there, and she could be someone that's going to be a great star of years to come. But there is no rush. I am of belief that John Cena did pick these people. He has a lot of the say of this. His last time is now show Saturday night's main event. There's going to be NXT stars on there. And just quickly, I'm going to just say this now: the winner of the Iron Survivor Challenge matches will actually be getting championship opportunities at New Year's Evil. we don't always get new champions when that happens. Sometimes we go through the deadline to then simply just see someone not win a title. Now, obviously, this year we did see some championships change hands, but for me, I think the price should have been greater for this because I think the winner of these matches should have got the appearance of guaranteed spot on John Cena's Saturday night's main event show that they would be performing there. That's why I think the price should have been for the Iron Survivor Challenge this year.
Yeah, agreed. It would have made a lot more sense. I think they're still planning on doing some NXT stars at Saturday night's main event, aren't they? So it'd be interesting to see who it is. So, I mean, that also could play into some of the results of this. If you've got someone who potentially is going to be facing someone at New Year's Evil for a title, it gives one of the losers an opportunity to be on this card. I don't know. It's a very weird situation to book it, but yeah, it would have made sense. Oh, and the other thing as well, I forgot to mention about the NXT Championship going on first as well. They're probably going to do that thing where the champion will come out at the end and it'll be like a face-off as the show goes off the air, I imagine. Yeah, sounds very likely that could be the case. They've done that a couple of times this year in the past on NXT. So yeah, could be setting up the future. And Dino says John Cena is his GOAT since he was watching wrestling for 20 years. Biggest inspiration, but Kelly also said that John is her hero. Respect his opinion. Love Kendal too. There's a lot of love there for it. Love that comment. And CD, just before then, we go into our first predictions. Says, I wish the Iron Survivor Challenge matches were to set up for stand and deliver matches. I don't know why it's a B-level pay-per-view like New Year's Evil. And in fact, usually New Year's Evil is usually the first NXT weekly show of the year. So I kind of understand where you're coming from because it could be good for higher stakes for the biggest show of the year. It could almost become like their Royal Rumble, you could say. Yeah, agreed. But I think it's because obviously it's the survival element to it, which is why it goes on roughly the same time as Survivor Series. But yeah, I mean, ultimately they've got to find something different for NXT because otherwise we should essentially be getting a Royal Rumble for NXT, which doesn't really work because one, they just don't have the talent to fill those Rumbles anyway. So which is why they get spots in the main event ones. But yeah. It'd be not like I get what he's saying, and yeah, these matches are kind of like really special and they are built. But then I think the other problem you've got is that if you do them in that Rumble spot as well, you've got a 3-month wait before stand and deliver, which is I think the other reason why they don't do it because essentially New Year's Evil is the next pay-per-view, which is January. So we've only got like four weeks before that show or something like that, whereas they can't really afford to do a 3-month build on NXT, so I guess that makes more sense than anything.
So final suggestion, taking CD's suggestion and trying to make sense of it. How about swapping on the calendar Deadline with Vengeance Day? Vengeance Day is usually the February show, the one before Stand and Deliver. Deadline could be the setup then to set up the matches for Stand and Deliver. And Vengeance Day could go to December, which Vengeance used to be on the WWE calendar. Yeah. Let's not forget Jericho winning the Undisputed Championship in 2001, beating The Rock and Austin in the same evening.
Yeah, I think the only thing you're going to suffer with is the Iron Survivor Challenge kind of is like a December thing now. Mm-hmm. And I don't think like they kind of want something for every month. And December is ultimately a very dry month for pay-per-views or events anyway. Like what did we get last year? A Saturday Night's Main Event last December, apart from the Iron Survivor Challenge. So this is kind of like the big deal for this month. So don't get me wrong, not against it. If you're going to put Vengeance Day in this spot, you've got to make something for Vengeance Day to essentially sort of make it December's pay-per-view.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sure they could find a way if they were ever to consider making a swap. CD likes the idea of doing that swap, so you never know. Maybe they do one day. But one thing's for sure, I've missed Deadline. It's been a full year. I need one. It's this weekend. There we are.
I can't believe I was so scared. Like 2 years ago, like I can't remember the Iron Survivor Challenge matches. And when we did the preview last year, I was really skeptical because I just didn't remember the matches, and then watched it and I was like, oh my God, these matches are fantastic. Why have I just like only cottoned on like a year later or something? Yeah, just really like I was really underwhelmed for some reason. And then you watch them and you're just like, oh my God, it's like he's literally like second or third best match stipulation in WWE.
It truly is. I mean, the thing is for me, like it was the year Trick won, because I remember that for myself before the match, I was like, Trick's definitely winning this one. He's definitely winning this. And then like we got to like 2 minutes before the end, I'm like, he's 4 falls behind. I'm like, he's not going to win it now. It's not enough time.
It's so good.
Picked up a third, and I'm like, literally, even though you could see it coming by the time he got the second form, like, okay, then maybe he will win it. I still popped out of my chair. I don't know, it was just something about that one. I was just like, yeah, you're not stopping this.
Yeah, but even then, you've got the point of, like, you can get that scenario again, and he doesn't do it. Like that, you're really at that point. You're really building the basis for a baby face, like an underdog story. It's great, man. Like it's got so many potentials for it. It's just it's so good.
It really is indeed. Danilo, love this comment. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, you two are two of my favorite content creators. Truly respect your work. Thank you so much. Very kind of you, man. But you are here for some predictions. We've been talking for nearly 15 minutes and we've not given you any yet. So yeah, exactly. Let's give you what you came here for. Let's get into our predictions. We're going to start off then with Ricky Saints versus Femi for the NXT Championship. And of course, Ricky Saints defeated Femi for the title at No Mercy earlier this year. And pretty much can Ricky Saints do it twice? He hasn't done it. You know, we did it the once, but was it a fluke? Femi's gone away. He missed the NXT versus TNA invasion stuff. He didn't want to have anything to do with that at the time. And well, now he's back and he wants his title back. And this. I mean, Oba looks like a beast as always. I mean, he's the ruler. He really is the future of WWE. But with Ricky Saints, how do you see this going down? Could this be something that could work for you?
Sorry, I was thinking of Dark State on NXT when Femi walks past and he starts mocking him and they're putting it on the same accent. I was cracking up for it. Hard one to call, just for the fact that this almost kind of plays into the men's Iron Survivor Challenge, because you're kind of looking at that card, you're looking at that match going, right, well, if Oba wins, he could face this, or this, and then if you face Stark, it could be this, and this, and yeah, the problem I have is most of the Iron Survivor Challenge is bring up the card a sec for the Iron Survivor Challenge just so I can see who's in it.
Absolutely, give us a second. We have Myles, Borne.
You've got four baby faces in that match and one heel, and I'm kind of sitting there thinking to myself, how do you justify having Ricky Saints win that? And then I forget the Dark State member's name.
Dion Lennox.
Sorry, yeah. I don't. How do you have Ricky Saints win when he's the only sort of viable option for New Year's Evil? Whereas with Femi's come back, he's kind of a tweener, more heelish. He's got 4 options there. But yeah, I don't think Femi is going to win this title. I think Femi is ready for the call-up. He's been in NXT for so long. Multiple-time NXT champion, North American champion. He's essentially done everything. He needs to come up now. Whether it's at Saturday night's main event, whether it's at the Rumble, he's main roster ready. We need to get this guy on the card now. Ricky Saints, I feel, could easily stay champion till Stand and Deliver. I'm going to go with Ricky Saints retain him. It does make my choice hard when it comes to the Iron Survivor Challenge, but I still think any one of those 5 could probably be winning against Ricky Saints. It's more of a narrative thing for me, trying to get from here or this weekend to New Year's Eve or with whoever wins that match, and I think that's the only thing that's kind of playing on my mind. But Femi's ready to come up, man. I would be very surprised if they swap this title over and then Ricky Saints goes up to the main roster before Femi, because Femi's been ready for a year easily.
I mean, you could argue Ricky Saints was ready for main roster.
He's always been ready. Yeah. You could make that argument. Oba's paid his dues though. He's carried NXT.
He truly has. He's truly carried NXT. Yeah. So, can I call that lineup again for the Iron Survivor Challenge quickly? Myles, Borne lost to Femi earlier this year. I believe that was the I forget the name of the show now. Battleground. Javon Evans losing at Heatwave. We've not had Leon Slater, Dion Lennox, and I think Joe Hendry would be against Femi. That'd be an interesting, tasty encounter, that one there. Ricky Saints, I don't believe, has taken on any of those guys at this point for the title. So,
no.
I mean, it does make sense for Ricky Saints to retain the title here at this stage. And the fact that it's opener of the show as well, I don't know, I just feel like we're not going to get a title change because of that. And I think Ricky will find a way. I'm in the camp of you. I think Femi is ready for the main roster. And I actually think that his main roster debut could be coming as early as the Royal Rumble. I think he's going to debut in the Rumble, and I think he's going to dominate the Rumble.
The only way I would accept Oba winning this is if Javon Evans takes it off him at New Year's Evil. Because if anyone's going to dethrone Oba, it should be Javon Evans over everyone else in that match. But like I said, just don't see Saints dropping this title. And I think, like I said, this is the third in the trilogy now. We don't kind of need any more interaction between these guys. Oba's main event ready. I can't see him dropping that title, so I'm sticking with Ricky Saints to retain.
Yeah,
in fact, I reckon as well, because this is first, we could get a screwy finish, like Oba wins via DQ or something like that. So Oba still gets the win, but Ricky Saints is still... I don't know, maybe, possibly, or even the other way around. Someone jumps Oba, or someone jumps your Saints and he wins. I don't know. I just... Because it's first, there's so many unknown parallels with this match that it could go anyway. But either way, Saints is retaining.
Saints is retaining. I think it's by pinfall. But what I will just throw as a final caveat, you mentioned about something making a screwy finish. I'm shocked that this isn't the triple threat match with Trick Williams. Because at one point it felt they were building Trick Williams in the background with a problem on NXT when these two are face to face. I do wonder if there is one final chapter with Trick Williams being involved in it as a triple threat match, but maybe that's not going to be any time soon. Maybe we have to wait actually for a stand and deliver for that to happen. But for today,
you know what? Do you know what they could actually do? Which I could easily see a Leon Slater being taken out backstage during the show and replaced by a Trick Williams in the match.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And Trick Williams ends up taking Leon Slater's place because, spoiler alert, I don't think Leon Slater is winning the Iron Survivor Challenge. But I think because he's a TNA guy, he's the guy that they would take out. Trick Williams will take his spot, like a wild card shout, and win the Iron Survivor Challenge and then face Ricky Saints again at New Year's Evil. Not
against it. Just replace Leon Slater with Myles Borne, and I'm fully invested. I'm there.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'd love to see Leon Slater in this match because of his I said, just him in the ring. If anything, I think apart from Javon Evans, I wouldn't mind any of the other four. I don't think any of the other four are ready for a title match, like to win a title or be in the title picture where they can be in contention. So any of the other four I'd be fine with. But Leon Slater should be in the match just for his in-ring ability.
Sounds interesting. Fun fact from CD, Leon Slater has an X Division Championship match the day before this, so he might be with NXT on this one. Interesting. There could be something coming at Final Resolution. And everyone that's beaten Oba Femi twice, says first it's Tony D'Angelo, and now it will be Ricky Saints. I think we've got a prediction there from CD. Tim Whistler in the house. Tim says, I don't want to see Oba Femi near the NXT title anymore. He's had too many title shots, and it's time for someone else to have a title shot. Not just a shot, but also a reign that I think Tim is going with there as well.
That's what I mean. He's carried that brand, so he just doesn't need it anymore.
No, he doesn't need it anymore. So, we are going to go then with a Ricky Saints victory for you. This one, he will retain the championship. And I guess, like you said there, it's perhaps maybe going to be face-to-face Ricky Saints with whoever wins the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge match, which we'll be predicting on the last match of the stream. So apologies, you will have to stay for the whole thing if you want to know our Iron Survivor Challenge winner. However, we will move on next in the meantime, and we're going to be talking about Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dana. A little bit of history for you with these two. Obviously, Tatum Paxley was lost. She had no one after she lost her friends. Obviously, Gigi Dolan and Shotzi, no longer with WWE, and Izzy brought her into the culling. Sean Spears was interesting with this at the start, but he quickly got on board along with Nico Vance. Tatum Paxley became the NXT Women's Champion at Halloween Havoc, and of course, she was granting everyone a title shot. Hell, even I was threw my name in the hat to get a title shot, to be honest. I think Tatum would have said yes. And Izzy Dane didn't like that. And as Izzy said this past week on NXT, everything that you can be given via me can easily be taken away from by me very quickly as well. So for that reason, she cost her the championship. And here we are. We've now got Izzy Dane versus Tatum Paxley on this show. And Tatum Paxley did say she is very frightened of how she's been treated, and now she we're going to see how it's going to go, really, aren't we?
Really felt this could have done with a stipulation. I think just to add that little bit more intensity to it being such a rivalry. I'm not against the match in general anyway. I think this is another one that's really hard to call because of just how the pair of them have been booked recently. Like, you had Paxley come off of being NXT Women's Champion. She had a couple of the title defenses. Izzy Dame's cost her. But then I'm looking forward and I'm thinking to myself, well, if Izzy Dame picks up this win, which I think Izzy Dame really does need the win more than Tatum Paxley, because Izzy Dame, I think, is ready to be in that main event scene. They've got another person who's paid her dues. She's kind of been like a real background player for the Cullen for most of the time throughout the year whenever Sean Spears has been doing whatever with whoever. And yeah, I really thought she had a great chance of obviously being in like the North American title scene. She's just not really done anything yet. So this has really, I'd say, 50-50. I think if Tatum Paxley wants to stay in that main event scene, she really should be winning this. But coming off of a title win, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Izzy Dame on this because I just think Izzy Dame has the potential to be a real top heel in the women's division on this brand. And I wouldn't be against them doing this again. I just think if you're going to do it, you almost need to build that underdog baby face with Tatum Paxley to come back and beat Izzy Dame at a later date.
Yeah, I totally hear you on that one. Look, I thought first of all a bit sorry for Izzy on NXT. The disrespect from the crowd when she's trying to cut a promo, singing the song in the background. Yeah, she's a heel, but there's what chance, and then there's just that. It was just totally disrespectful. I did.
What was I even singing? I can't even remember. Like I remember.
I was trying to block it out. I was trying not to listen to it, and I thought Izzy did fantastic to not break character and to keep.
And
going.
that's what and look, that's another reason why she should be winning this match then, because if she can overcome adversities like that with a live crowd audience, imagine what she'll be like as a main event scene heel on the women's roster.
Yeah, she's ready for the NXT Women's Championship. I think there's no doubt about that, and I think that potentially Stand and Deliver could be her time to win that title. We need to get there first. But I mean, this is gonna be interesting here. I mean, Tatum Paxley's just been champion. She shouldn't win this match because Izzy will have the culling a ringside. You imagine that would be enough to cause distraction. But Izzy had a lot to say on NXT. And Tatum, I don't know. I just wonder if she's going to get a sneaky victory in this match. And this leads to another match later down the line. But at the same time, it does make more sense for the heel to get the advantage here and Tatum to try and get the ultimate win.
That's what I'm saying. There's no real reason for. I mean, yes, don't be wrong. It would almost be great for Tatum to like prove Izzy wrong. But I think that's something that, like you said, you need to build to that point. It can't just be one and done. A second match, I think, is where you ultimately do that. Whether it's a New Year's Eve or whether it's on TV, whatever. Even if it's a case of at some point, I don't know, Izzy Dame gets the North American title and then we get that win back. There's just a longer narrative that they can do with this rather than just doing a one and done here.
I mean, we mentioned the show there, New Year's Evil. It just fits so well for a Tatum Paxley match and revenge. So I will go Izzy Dame as well to win here. It just seems to make the most sense to me at this point for the story. Although you would say ultimately she's the one that says she's calling the shots, it would be fun to see then that she actually realizes she's not calling the shots. But either way, she's got the numbers advantage. So let's go with that. Let's go into the comments then, shall we? Danilo says, I already consider Izzy an NXT main eventer, as she should. Yeah, I mean, she certainly is. She's staking her place.
Yeah, she just needs some gold on her. Like I said, it would have been nice for her to have had the North American title by now. But yeah, promo-wise, character-wise, I think she's got it nailed down. She just needs to start getting more wins under her belt and be a bit more credible when it comes to actually being a serious contender. And people like Tatum, she should be beating Tatum to get that build that credibility. Credit
to Shawn Michaels, the NXT booking creative team, and I'm going to go Sean Spears in this as well because he will have his part to play of playing in the background to Izzy Dame as well. This has become Izzy's group, the culling. She's taken that and she's run with it. I mean, she's really run with it. She's developed her character. She's had a real nasty streak, and she's really bought into what was the original ideology of this Sean Spears group and just took it to places I don't think actually many NXT fans see that he could have gone. And I think credit to her because she's going to outgrow that group as well. She's going to be the one getting the call up without the rest of them.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But she's been sitting in the background for so long with these guys, and while Sean Spears has been farting around, I think he was a North American champion at one point, wasn't he, or Heritage Cup champion at some point. She's just quietly been in the background doing nothing, and then she's been looked over so many times for certain matches as well that she really should have been in. Like, I'm sure she wasn't in. Didn't she miss out on the 6-woman match for the inaugural North American Championship as well? There's just matches that she should have been in that she just wasn't.
The inaugural, yeah, she missed out on, but she was in the ladder match this year at Battleground. She's been slowly getting a lot more PLE performances this year, Izzy, and I think it's more
TV time as well.
Indeed, and her time is coming. CD thinks she's winning because she needs the win. More stats on Oba. Femi, look how many days he's held championship gold. It's time for someone else. It really is.
Levels of runs there.
I'm saying it's Gunter levels, yeah, absolutely. Tatum is main roster ready. Maybe team up with Live Valkyria. I think we have to see how the Bailey storyline turns out, but that certainly wouldn't be a bad idea in the near future. The fans in NXT like Tatum, Paxley. Yeah, that's why they boo Izzy Dane. I mean, obviously, I don't mind that they're booing Izzy Dane. It's just the fact that I don't think they should have been politely, but forgive my French, shitting all over a promo on NXT because it was a bloody good promo. Ray really enjoyed it. This is the only thing, he enjoyed about NXT last night was seeing how winning her match. Well, she did. She won convincingly as well.
So just another one that just seems to be booked so what's the word I'm looking for here? Just like she'll pop up for 2 weeks, do fantastic, then disappears for 4 months before she's back on telly again. Just I don't get her booking. She should be really already in the main event scene. Yeah,
arguably. Ray also cares about Jordynne Grace. You're in luck, Ray. We'll be talking about Grace very, very soon, and we'll discuss your Natalia question towards the end of the video if you don't mind. CD says Sean Spears was transitional North American champion, so they can give that to Ricky Saints. Exactly. Sean Spears has played his role very, very well because it's coming to NXT as well this second time around. Knows his place, knows his role, and he's really helping evolve the next stars of WWE. I think he's doing a great job.
He has his spot on the card. He's the new Cassius Ohno for me. He's like the gatekeeper, almost.
I like it. I like that. That's good. Very, very good. Hold on, I just want to look at something quickly. Yeah, there we are. Right, I want to just do something quickly. It'll take me a couple of seconds to do, just because, you can see that StreamYard has done something a little bit different, and it's taking all of our banners away very, very quickly. They've added a timer in. I don't want the timer in. So you're not going to have to worry about that for this next one as we talk about the NXT North American Championship match. Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana. I think a lot of this comes down to Ethan Page becoming a double champion, of course, winning those mixed tag team championships, and of course Mr. Iguana wanting a bit of revenge as well. As you mentioned, Ava in the car park with Ethan Page last night on NXT. Ethan Page said thanks John Cena for giving him a well-deserved night off, the greatest champion in WWE. No one even wants to challenge him. Well, Ava said maybe this guy would, and he saw an iguana in his car, pretty much shit a brick and got out the car as well. And Mr. Iguana stole his car. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, Ava actually showed quite a bit of personality with that, pretty much, didn't she? With what am I
going to do? Tell the police you got robbed by a lizard? Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
that was actually really good.
It's very, very seldomly we get to see Ava actually have like a genuine character instead of being this authority figure that she struggles to portray, really. But yeah, dude, look, this is just going to be one of those entertaining goofball matches. I could see Mr. Iguana winning this, but I'm going to be really short and brief for this one. Ethan Page is the greatest, man. I really don't want him to lose that title. He's so good. His character work is unbelievable, man. And I just need that guy on my TV consistently. He needs to be like Raw, SmackDown, mid-card scene straight away. He needs to be involved in United States Open Challenge. Do you know what I mean? He is perfect for that right now. Him against Ilya Dragunov. Don't be wrong. The match should be something, because I think if it would have been Sami Zayn, I'd have been a bit more like, Ethan Page got a really good chance of winning this. But yeah, Ethan Page is just so good. But then again, like I said, I can see Mr. Iguana winning it because I want Ethan Page on the main roster. But I'm going to stick with Ethan Page. I think we've got to have some disappointment on this show somewhere, and I think Mr. Iguana losing kind of is the one that ultimately. Saying that, I have just predicted Izzy Dane to win, and I know the crowd are massively behind Tatum Paxley. So, but yeah, I think we've got to balance out the pros and the cons here, and I just think Ethan Page retains for me.
I think that this show has a lot of baby faces potentially going to be winning, and I don't think that's going to surprise a lot of people when I say that. Judging when we come to the Iron Survivor challenges, there's not many heels in them. I've gone for Ricky Saints to retain his championship, a baby face. Yes, we've gone for Izzy Dane, but we need to get a second heel winning on this show. Ethan Page, for me, ticks all the boxes to keep this title a bit longer. Look, Mr. Iguana is great to come in for comic relief, but he's not in any position right now, in my opinion, to be winning a championship in WWE at this particular moment. So this is a... dare I say, it's a bit of a cameo. It's a pop. It's an attraction. That's what it is.
It's a filler match.
Exactly.
Yeah, a match built off of a 1 week. A match built off of a 1 week build. I can't really see a title change with this. That's the real logical reason I should be going with Ethan Page retaining.
Yeah, I think Ethan Page all the way. There's not really much more for me to add on this one, but is there anything you'd like to add? Should we just go straight to the comments?
No, the only other, just saying that, just to briefly touch into AAA recently, did you see AJ Styles popped up the other night in the match with Dominic Mysterio? He put Styles Clash Dominic Mysterio in the middle of a match the other night. I was well shocked. Looks like AJ might be making an appearance in AAA soon.
I would not be against seeing that. I'd want to see that big time. And with TNA's new deal, I'd love to see him make an appearance in TNA before he retires.
Please, one more title match on TNA, please. It should have done it with Cena, but
we can dream. We can dream.
Yeah,
that's all we can do. Let's go into the comments then. And yeah, do you know what? There's nothing about this match at all, apart from Tim here saying that Tony Khan didn't think Ethan Page was good. That's why I let him go from AEW. And what a silly move that was. He's proven
he always had good character work. Wasn't he like teaming with like Scorpio Sky at one point? And they were a tag team at one point. And yeah, he's always had character. He's just never been given the opportunity to really show it. But oh man, since he came into NXT, he's just been so refreshing to watch.
He was great in Men of the Hour for me. I loved him as part of the North with Josh Alexander, and
TNA run there.
I've always been a fan of Ethan Page. I've seen it, and now I'm really seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, when he was in AEW, I started following his YouTube channel, and I honestly I fell in love with the person because like he's so. Like he's a guy that you just want to be your mate. He's so relatable. He's so down to earth. And then when I get that feeling with people, it's like I just want them to do the best. And like I said, because even though he's a heel and I really shouldn't be cheering him, he's my guy, man. And I'll back him till the cows come home, man. He's just such a wholesome guy. And same with Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, like these two together are a perfect pairing. But her character as well, outside of the ring in real life, she's so lovable, man. It's just you just want these people to succeed.
You certainly do indeed. If you're enjoying the video so far, this is the point where I'd ask you if you can hit that like button. Also hype the video as well, because if you get hyped for us, we can stay hyped for you as well. That's for the Mojo Riley fans out there.
That's about me.
Yeah, I know.
That's
about
as much hyping I can do.
There's a lot of hype for Fallon Henley in our comments. Henley's been NXT North American Champion, Speed Champion, Tag Team Champion. If she wins the NXT Women's Championship, she would become the first ever NXT Women's Grand Slam champion. And Danilo as well has said there's only one title left for her to do, and he always saw her being her Mickie James' successor. So there you are. A lot of high praise coming from our comments here regarding Fallon Henley. Are you a fan of Fallon Henley?
Yes, I've been a fan of Fallon Henley when she was teaming with Briggs and Jensen. Yeah, those two. I always thought she was great. And then the heel turn was very much needed, and I think she's done really well. She does at some point need to break away from Fallon Henley, break away from JC Jane, and kind of be her own person again. I'm a big fan of Fallon Henley, and I think she is good. She just needs to, like I said, just break away at some point from that trio. Yeah,
I mean the thing is as well, though, I do think there's that trio right now. Their best chance of surviving on the main roster is
as a free, yeah.
part, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do wonder what happens to Lenny Reed. She's quite new to the party, and I think the other two are ready for the call up. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, also a big fan of Fallon Henley. I think she's doing tremendous work in NXT. Ray has got the belief that Final Resolution will be better than NXT Deadline. CD also feels that Final Resolution will be better than Deadline, but both will be good shows. I think it's just about enjoying the shows, really. I don't really want to compare them both before they both happen, but look, Deadline is one of the shows I look forward to most of the year, so maybe I'm a bit biased. That's all I'll say with that. Noob says the North would have been great in WWE if Josh Alexander should have signed to WWE and not AEW. Although I do love him in the Don Callis family, but I kind of agree. Would love to have seen it. And the North were great in Impact Wrestling, and they were one of those rare tag teams that were both successful singles careers. Ethan Page had one in WWE, and Josh Alexander had one in TNA. Absolutely, indeed, they are very talented performers indeed. Let's move on, and this is the reason why everyone's here, really, isn't it? It's time to talk Iron Survivor Challenge. So there you are. Let's start then with the women's one, shall we? We've got 5 women then, and the winner of this Iron Survivor Challenge match will be your number 1 contender going against JC Jane at New Year's Evil. We've got Kelani, Jordynne, Sol Ruca, Jordynne Grace, Lola Vice, I want to say Fallon Henley, I don't know why, and Kendal Gray, of course, is the current Evolved champion. We need to talk about just the people on this show. We're going to get very easily confused. But yeah, as you can see, quite a lineup there with those 5. Let's remind the names there for those people. It's Ruca, Grace, Jordynne, Vice, and Gray. We can have a little bit of fun with this before we go into the prediction. First off, rule one person out.
For me, Kendal Gray. She's Evolved champion. I just don't see... I think this is a great showcase for her, but I don't think she is in the position to where she should be contending for a title.
I like that. I like that because of the fact that I can see your point of view. She is the outsider for this. For me, she is the Ren Sinclair last year. I think she's going to get a real showcase in this, and I'm going to predict she's starting this match. She's going to get the full 25 minutes to show out and really make something of herself here. My person that's not going to win this match, of all of them, Kelani Jordynne. And my reason for it is because, damn, there's a lot of heat on Kelani Jordynne. She's gone full on heel. And our champion, JC Jane, is a heel. It's one of the 4 faces that's winning this. So for that reason, for me, I'm putting Kelani Jordynne as 5th choice to win.
Yeah, I don't think those are the solid 5 and 4 from this. I think the other 3 are your best choices. Again, because of the way the match is. I mean, look, I don't think I'm going to rule out Jordynne Grace as well. I don't think Jordynne Grace wins that title to at least stand and deliver, and then maybe not even then. Possibly the way I thought she would have won it by now, and. I don't know. I don't think I can. To be honest with you, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Jordynne Grace should be winning this because I'm sitting there thinking my initial thought was, Sol Ruca's winning this 100%. Sol Ruca has been on such a rise just from the whole year. Speed champion, North American champion, just elevated all the way. And then I forget that Zarya is a foreboding shadow in the background, just someone that's ultimately going to be her downfall and be the reason why she doesn't win that championship. Lola Vice is someone... she's great. I just don't think she gets enough wins and is not credible enough to be winning this and to come out on top. So maybe I should be going with Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace is probably the safest bet. And... if JC Jane's going to lose that title, Jordynne Grace is probably the most possible to win it because of it just being Jordynne Grace.
I understand your point of view, and I think you could be onto something. Look, let's just go through the lineup quickly. I think that's just the best way to do it. Kendal Gray, like you said, breakout performance potentially for her on this, but she's the Evolved champion. Can't see her holding both that and the NXT Women's Championship at the same time. It just seems a silly move to do at this point. Kelani Jordynne, I mentioned already. Heel, let's move on. Jordynne Grace lost to JC Jane at Evolution earlier this year.
Yeah, it's true.
Lola Vice lost to JC Jane at No Mercy. Although that was where Laney Reed was pretty much unveiled as your new member of Fatal Influence at the time.
Yeah.
You mentioned Sol Ruca. Look, Sol Ruca was my prediction until NXT. and then there was a little thorn thrown in the side of Zarya. Of course, they had the interaction backstage, and you could see that they not fully getting on. Zarya's mad with Sol Ruca, and this past week on NXT, Sol Ruca moved out of the way and probably would have ate a spear from Zarya, who instead it was Kendal Gray on the floor. Will Zarya cost Sol Ruca this match?
Possibly, but I don't think so. I think if anyone's going to do any costing in this, it's going to be Toxic Attraction, Fatal Attraction, whatever they're called. I forget now. I was getting mixed up.
Influence.
Fatal Influence. There we go. Sorry, because I was looking at my phone to some history for something, and I just remembered the Mandy Rose version. I think they're going to be the only ones that do any interference in this, and I think they're going to be the reason some of these people don't score as many wins. I think obviously because they're trying to basically. They're almost trying to get the right person for JC to win against, essentially. So I think they're going to be the ones that do all the interfering. But I don't know if Zarya would necessarily cost Sol. I mean, it's possible. Again, for me, it's all storytelling dynamics that you've got to make it make sense. And, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not against it. There could be a chance where Zarya does randomly just pop up and stop Sol from getting that. Like we was talking at the start, where Sol could be doing that Trick Williams thing where she's 4 pinfalls down and she's just about to get the one that ties it up, and then Zarya just pulls her out the ring and denies her that last pinfall to tie it up. You could get something like that. So yes, it is possible, but I genuinely think Fatal Attraction will be doing most of the interference in this one.
Be interesting to see how it will go down, but they could make their voices known in this and get involved in some way. I really hope they don't know. I'd rather they stay in the back. I have been thinking while you've been saying this, because it really threw me off. I'm like, well, Zarya, she missed on this show. Will she hit one on this show? And that costs Sol Ruca the match, because that simply could be the way it goes down. But I almost feel a little bit like if you were Zarya, and you can see there's a jealousy factor in there, because Sol Ruca is as good as she says. She's double champion. Zarya couldn't retain the title on Sol's behalf. She couldn't win the Speed Championship. She's clearly realizing there's a jealousy factor kicking in. But if she wants to be someone that's really going to stick it into Sol Ruca, why cost her on the Iron Survivor Challenge? Why not wait till New Year's Eve when she's got the championship match? That feels like the perfect place to do it. So for that reason, I'm going to go for Sol Ruca as my prediction. It was my prediction before this. It's going to remain just. A part of me did wonder if Lola Vice winning this could make some sense, because of the fact that she knows this time she's against all 3 members of Fatal Influence, not just 2. And that could be a way of getting a breakout moment. But one thing's for sure, I think whoever wins this is winning the NXT Women's Championship at New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm going to go with Jordynne Grace, because I don't expect Jordynne Grace to be in NXT long. And I think she deserves to be NXT Women's Champion. She came into NXT with so much expectations, and she's not really lived up to anything. She's had a great series of matches with Blake Monroe, but okay, not the greatest, but she's had a series of matches with Blake Monroe. She kind of feels like she's always been main roster ready, and I think she kind of needs that NXT Championship just to give her a run with it between New Year's Evil and Stand and Deliver, and then Jordynne Grace goes up to main event. And I just think that makes more sense. So worst case scenario, you can then have Blake Monroe take it off of her at Stand and Deliver, and then you're bumping Blake Monroe up there as well. Like I said, Sol Ruca, she's done everything this year. I think she may have overdone it and she may be a bit too ready. But like I said, I'm not against it. I like your prediction. I'm just going to go with Jordynne Grace, because I think Jordynne Grace is probably the safest bet. Whereas I think if you were to do Sol's first opponent is obviously going to be Zarya. It almost feels a bit, I don't know, it feels lazy, maybe complacent. But yeah, I'll go Jordynne just to be different.
Fair. And I would not be against Grace. There's a reason why I'm looking forward to this match the most of the entire show. All 5 would be great winners, in my opinion. There ain't a bad winner. Yeah. So it's just, it's probably
the hardest one to call. And don't get me wrong, Lola Vice could win this from out of nowhere, but she seems to be just doing more stuff on AAA at the minute than anywhere else. So I've got no reason to back Lola Vice, which is a shame.
She should be the Triple R Women's Champion. Probably not give it too long, I would say. Probably the way she's been pushed over there. Order of people coming into the match. I'm going to go for Kendal Gray and Jordynne Grace to kick it off. I'm going to go for Kelani Jordynne to come in third, Sol Ruca to come in fourth, and Lola Vice to come in last.
I'm going to go Kendal Gray and Lola, and then I'll go Sol, Kelani, Jordynne. So Sol third, Kelani fourth, Jordynne Grace last.
I like it. We're having a bit of fun here with this one. Let's go into the comments because there's some comments that come flying in for this one. So, yeah, let's go for it. I'm trying to find where we are here at the moment. Unfortunately, the feed is played up on me just a tad here, but we will be there. Ray has said Jordynne Grace should be the winner, best wrestler in the match.
I don't know. Sol's pretty good.
So it was pretty good. I mean, all of them are pretty good. I don't think there's a bad one in there personally.
Good as well.
Danilo says, I'm so excited for this match too. I got to go with Lola. Needs more. She needs it more than anyone in the match. CD says, do you think Evolve is the new developmental territory for WWE? Pretty much, it seems to be at this point.
It's TNA.
All right, I can see that. That's the right answer.
Jordynne Grace, Joe Hendry, Leon Slater's coming over when those contracts. I'm telling you, it's TNA, bruv.
Mike Santana. We go on?
That's exactly. There's 4 talents already.
I mean, they got those young boys, the Hardy Boys, them young up and comers.
Yeah. Don't forget that other guy sells really well. That Nick Nemeth guy, he seems pretty hot.
Absolutely. Didn't Matt Cardona? Never mind. CT says, I think it would make more sense if Zara cost Sol Ruca the women's title match against JC James. So he put it in there probably earlier than we said it.
But even like you said there, if Sol wins, why would you expect the title to change at New Year's Eve? So why would Zarya cost her the title? Do you know what I mean?
This is typical fan reaction when WWE has done this to us too many times before. Unhappy, and the match's not even happened yet. All right, I don't blame you because I've been there many times myself. Typical WWE booking. Jordynne Grace not as good as TNA did the start that she is. Basically saying she was booked much better in TNA than she has been in WWE. Completely agree to this point.
She won the men's world title in TNA. What do you expect? It's a bit hard not to. Did she win it? Yeah, she did. I think her and Tessa Blanchard won it both, didn't they? I know Tessa Blanchard won it.
Yeah, I don't think Jordynne Grace did.
I might be getting confused then, yeah. But yeah, that's the word. I'm getting confused with Tessa Blanchard there. But yeah, Jordynne Grace was obviously phenomenal in TNA.
She was indeed. Danilo says, many fans don't see it, but I think Sol's a natural heel. One day she'll be a great heel. Do you know what? I think I see it a bit. A recent promo work has shown that there is that in there.
She needs to lose that Scooby-Doo California music if she does become a heel, because that does not fit the character.
No, it does not. It does not. Ray says, should John Cena have had a match in NXT to put over the next big star in NXT?
There's a lot of things John Cena should have done this year.
Yes, he should have. Yeah. CD says, Zarya is supposed to be a scary character. I hope she breaks up with Sol Ruca soon. Yeah, me too.
Do you remember those vignettes where she was coming in and she was destroying cities? Clearly, she was just passing through and someone else had done the work for her.
Hey, if we're unhappy with the way that Jordynne Grace has been booked, Zarya has definitely played.
Zarya's been, yeah. And then doing TikToks with Sol Ruca about getting her makeup done and stuff, and getting matching outfits or whatever. Yeah, because that's the way to book Zarya as a devastating character. Jesus, she was supposed to be like the female version of Bronson Reed, and she's coming absolutely nothing like it.
Yeah, absolutely. She will be a big star in WWE. It's just we have to wait a lot longer. She just came in at the wrong time. Too many. There's too many cooks in the kitchen.
She came in with Julia. She came in with Stephanie Vaquer. She came in with Jordynne. She had no chance at that point.
Especially when the other three had much more stock in the name value at that time.
Exactly.
Who do you think should be the men's and women's champions in NXT and North American champions? So let's start with it quickly. We'll run it through. NXT champion. I think Ricky Saints should be the NXT champion right now. I think it's the right play, but I do think if he's to drop the title, it should be to Javon Evans. That's just my take.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm going to go with people that aren't currently the champion. So, yeah, for me, Javon Evans should be NXT champion.
All right, we'll make that as a rule. We can't agree with the current champions then. So, who then should be the women's champion in NXT right now?
Jordynne Grace or Sol Ruca.
Yeah, one of those. I will go with Sol Ruca just because of the fact that I think she's had such a breakout year. I think it's the right time. It's the time to have her as a run with the title and then call up to Raw SmackDown. Yeah. Men's North American champion. This will be interesting.
Oh, God. This should be even page. It should always be even page. Men's North American champion, Myles Borne. I think Myles Borne is perfectly suited for that mid-card title at the minute. I think he's been on a steady rise, and he's obviously been doing a lot of character work. And yeah, I think he deserves a mid-card title run.
I like that answer. That's a good answer. I'm going to go with Dion Lennox. I think he's got a lot of potential. I'm going to be singing this praise in about 5 minutes' time, and hopefully I won't bore the lot of you. But there's the dude is so much more impressive than the librarian reading a book in the corner that we saw about 12 to 18 months ago. This dude has really gone leaps and bounds, and he's just getting better and better. Women's North American champion.
I'm going to say it just because I'm a fanboy. It should be Thea Hale. She's so good, and she's such a little character. I just really want her to do something, and I think a mid-card title run will just elevate her so much more. But then, like I said, there's half a dozen names on that women's roster that should be North American champion.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of someone that's not held the
Izzy
title. Izzy Dane, yeah, she should be in the shout to be in for the women's champion as well. Let's say her for the North American champion because she's definitely ready for a title in NXT. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Tim's giving some 2K25 Sideburn Sid. We love it. I love it. Good name for a wrestler. Indeed.
If he doesn't have sideburns, I'd be a bit disappointed.
Maybe have the classic real ones like Jericho had at one point, or The Rock had. Would be quite fun. Jordynne Grace never won the men's TNA championship. Yes, but she did win the TNA Digital Media Championship, which is the men's title. There we are. Jake Something's contract is expiring soon. Do you think WWE would be interested in signing him?
Don't think so. I think they've already got a stacked roster, and I just don't know where he'd fit on the card at the minute. I could be wrong, but I just don't see where he'd fit at the minute. I personally haven't seen a lot of character work, so for me at the minute, he's just wrestler.
I agree with everything you just said, and I have seen more of his work. I don't like his name either. I'm sorry. I'm going to be a bit critical of Jake Something. He reminds me of an 80s wrestler, Hercules Hernandez. So there is a place on the roster for him, but it's just not very high up on that roster.
Who's that indie wrestler? Tommy Invincible or something like that? Like, I'm sure people have seen. Yeah, his name. He's got Invincible tattooed on his back, and I'm like, that's like I wasn't a big fan of Just Incredible because I was like, that is a stupid name. But Just Incredible grew on me, so I could be very wrong. But yeah, I'm not a fan of stupid names like that. Jake Something, and these names like Something Invincible, and yeah, I just it's such a stupid word to use for a name. And then again, dude, we had Doink the Clown and Boogeyman, so who want me to talk about wrestlers' names?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Manu says it's his last name. I mean, fair play to that, but most wrestlers don't use their real names.
Is his government name? Because I doubt it is.
If it is his government name, he still should change it for the wrestling world.
Let's role play the whole birth scene. What would you? His mum's just given birth to him. Midwife turns around and says to him, "So what do you want to name him?" Jake Something. There you go. On his birth certificate, Jake Something. Do you know what I mean? That could legitimately be how it actually happened if it is his government name.
Poor Jake. We've ruined him on this here. We're not stopping that. We might as well go home now. Stevie's not a fan. He said because of backstage segments, he is never wearing clothes. He's always in his wrestling gear. I mean, that must be
always ready.
Yeah, he's always ready. It must be chilly those times at the airport.
Look, he's a big guy. I'm sure he probably burns enough. He probably has enough heat from just working out because he's constantly jacked.
I suppose. Dave says, "Do you think Blue Pants was a good wrestler in NXT back in the day?" Yeah.
She was alright. I think she got more over in AEW as what was her name in AEW? The librarian, wasn't it? What was her name?
Lena Bates or something?
Lever Bates. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. She was alright. I think she was just more over in AEW.
She had the best entrance theme music though in NXT. You're never topping that.
But again, that's another name that sucked. Blue Pants. Oh yeah, I know why you like the music. But yeah, what stupid name? Blue Pants. That's a 4-year-old creating a wrestler on 2K.
How many stupid wrestler names can you name in the comments below? Get some of them.
Yeah, go for it.
we're going well off track on this one, but you know what? We're having fun. Who cares? Danilo says, "Glad you mentioned Fia. She should not be a comedy wrestler. She's too good for that. Turn her heel as a serious one. She's got a mean streak, you know. Wouldn't mind seeing it one day."
Yeah, she can be vicious. She's like a chihuahua, that one. Like, she has a lot of bark.
Absolutely. See, this says, you can argue Zari should have dethroned Fallon Henley for the NXT Women's North American Championship.
Very true.
Went on to win the Women's Championship too. You're so right, CD. You're so right. Not going to argue.
I genuinely thought Zari was going to win it. I think I predicted Zari to win that match.
There you are. Jake Something's real name is Jacob Dole.
Oh, yeah. That midwife scene was all in my head then.
Thank goodness as well. He could. Do you know what? It would be a better wrestling name. It would be better than Jake Something. I'm sorry, but that's just my take on it. Poor Jake, if he ever watches this. Fan of his work in ring. Just I don't see him in WWE.
Not the wrestling, not the name.
Not the name. Yeah, we're not a fan of the name. But what we are a fan of the name of is the Iron Survivor Challenge. Let's get back onto point, shall we? Like the video if you enjoyed it, by the way. Subscribe as well if you're new here. Myles, Borne, Dion, Lennox, Javon Evans, TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater, and say his name and he appears full-time in NXT, Joe Hendry. That's your lineup there for the Iron Survivor Challenge here. And like I mentioned, the last match and this match, John Cena picked all of the names, allegedly. Look, the four baby faces, one heel. You could argue here John Cena has gone with the future of the business with this one. There's no Trick Williams in sight. Obviously, he was in the qualifying match but didn't get involved in it. But there's some other names that could have been mentioned but are not mentioned here. Javon Evans, 21 years old, very bright future, has already become one of the mainstays of NXT. Reportedly, John Cena's a huge fan of his work. Joe Hendry as well, self-made man, has made himself where he can't be ignored. He actually wanted to face John Cena on his retirement tour, but how he's got a shout-out instead. Still might end up on the actual show competing himself. Myles, Borne, some say an up-and-coming Randy Orton. He's had a breakout year, which is good to see for him. Leon Slater, future of the business as well. And the dude, like 20 years old as well. I mean, he's X-Division champion. Yeah. He's 21 as well, X-Division champion. And like you say, probably WWE bound at some point in the near future. And Dion, Lennox as well. Look, it's time to sing the praises of this young man. Was a librarian in the corner, just sitting there quietly, became the leader of Dark State. And to be fair, Dark State, for a majority of the year, have been put like Retribution. However, when you see these guys have backstage work, there is one guy that just really shines for me. Look, actually, he's not the only one that shines, but he's one. He has got an aura about him, and he has got something that just screams the leader of the group and the one that is going to break out and become a big star. And the fact he's already been pushed into this opportunity here just makes me think that NXT sees this, and he's got a very big future in front of him. And the way he spoke to Femi this past week on NXT, it's not just the fact of, it's a promo, I get that, but the fact of the way he delivered that promo, that he believed every word he was saying, and he just was standing up to the biggest dog in the yard. I felt it, and it made me want to say, I want Oba to win, and I want Dion to win, and I want to see that match. And I think we will get that match probably anyway, regardless of the results here. But it's just, I don't know, I see something and saying, well, John Cena sees something. I see it as well. I think Dion Lennox is here to stay. He's going to be a big-time player.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like, aside from Joe Hendry, I think Joe Hendry's not necessarily the future, but he will be in the future. He's like the other four. They are like, if they're not on a WrestleMania card in the next 2 or 3 years, you'd question what's gone wrong somewhere. But just to run through these lists anyway, because I'm going to get, like, you've said enough. There's not really much else I can add to it. I'm just going to run through my theory of who I'm picking for this match.
Do it.
I've predicted Trick's going to retain. I don't see Javon Evans going to New Year's Evil to face Trick. Two faces. Although it would work. What's that?
Ricky, not Trick.
It's Ricky Saints. Yeah, you know what I mean. Sorry, you dropped his name in and he got stuck in my brain for a minute there. I can't see Javon Evans dethroning Ricky Saints. Javon should be an NXT champion at some point. I don't think Ricky Saints is the right person for him to be taking that title off of. Joe Hendry, recently, he's all right. He's been around for ages, but I don't know if he's, again, just him versus Ricky Saints. I don't know if it's the match that should be headlining New Year's Evil. I think again, it just doesn't mesh for me. Myles Borne, honestly, he's my underdog. Like if I was gonna pick anyone else, I'd say Myles Borne is like my number 2 pick. I think that he has a potential to even if he just turns heel at some point between now and New Year's Eve, I'd be okay with it. But he's been on such a babyface run. But he's my second pick. Leon Slater, he's a TNA guy, and unfortunately, that kind of null and voids it. I mean, the only reason I think he'd win is because he wouldn't win at New Year's Eve. So I'd be okay with it. But again, he's my third choice. I'm going to go with Dion Lennox to win this. I think they've put such an emphasis on him in the last couple of weeks. And obviously Dark State had the numbers game. So I can imagine it being generally, this is like fantasy booking in my head here. Evans, Hendry, Borne, Slater, they'll all have like 2 or 3 pins each. Dion Lennox is sitting on 0 with like a minute to go. Dark State, run the ring, destroy everyone, and Dion Lennox just goes around pinning them multiple times to catch up and win. Bill, by the help of Dark State. I know that crowd are going to hate it, but like you said, like people see something in Dion Lennox. He's the only natural heel in the card. He could lose to Ricky at New Year's Eve and it wouldn't do him no harm. But what a way to elevate a guy, to overcome 4 faces. Don't get me wrong, it'd be a screwy finish. But yeah, I'm going with Dion Lennox, man. I think that they've put such an emphasis on him in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to go with him, man.
Do you know what? I don't agree with him winning, but I've applauded that because that's going to happen. That they're going to do that in this match. And Dion Lennox is going to be leading, and it's going to be the baby faces having to catch up and find a way to outdo the numbers of Dark State. Yeah, that you've booked this match. That's how it's going to play out here. I think it's going to be a fun ride, this one. Obviously, Myles Borne gets to choose his number because he got the pinfall victory in NXT in the 8-man tag this week. So you would imagine that Myles Borne will put himself at number 4, number 5. You want to be the freshest guy. He's
going to go 1 or 2. He's a baby face, and they're all proud. Instead of being smart, they're all proud, so they want to go first. They want to go the distance like it's a Royal Rumble.
He possibly would. He's not, but I have not put him as 1 or 2. Should we go through the numbers quickly?
Go for it.
I think
I'm gonna.
Oh, go on. You go first.
Go on. I reckon Evans and Slater are going to start. I reckon they're going to give us a taste. They're going to give us a taste of that again. They're going to give us those two going at each other again. I think Dion Lennox is going to be third. I reckon it's then Myles Borne, and then it's going to be Javon Evans last. Oh no, sorry. Then Joe Hendry last. Sorry.
I think you might have got a clean sweep there. The 2 that I would switch potentially are Hendry and Borne, but I do think actually number 4 is the place that Borne should pick because of the fact that actually you have 10 minutes and you're fresh.
Yeah, you have a longer time to catch up. So yeah, it's the logical pick. Yeah, it's actually. Do you know what? It's actually a really interesting dynamic, giving them the opportunity to pick a spot because you have to. If you go last, you've got the short amount of time to get some pinfall. So it's a really good dynamic.
I think it's a very good dynamic. I think it's very interesting. This is an interesting one. I'm excited here. Yeah. How is this match? So, do you think Dion Lennox is winning this? Then that's your prediction.
I think he's winning it because he's the only guy I can generally see going to New Year's Eve and losing and being okay with it. I think the other guys almost kind of suffer if they go to New Year's Eve and lose, or we get a crap finish at New Year's Eve. Whereas I'd rather just see Dion Lennox have a good match with Ricky Saints, and even the numbers game being a thing as well. Like if you've got the rest of Dark State getting involved, and then you've got the likes of Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Myles Borne, they kind of they counter those numbers. If anything, it makes sense in the booking that Dark State are going to try and play the numbers game against Ricky Saints, and you have all these baby faces to back up Ricky Saints.
Fair.
I've booked it, and I've booked it.
You've booked it. You've booked it really well. This plays
Javon Evans and Slater are definitely starting, by the way.
Yeah, I think they're definitely starting as well. Like when you said, I don't need to repeat it. That's definitely the way, because it's the right way to start the match as well. It's going to be perfect with those two. I am going to go. I'm going to go for Javon Evans to win this. I just got a feeling. I know that Ricky Saints said he's the favourite, and that made me think maybe it's Joe Hendry. I don't think Borne wins this. Obviously, got the advantage in NXT. That's not going to work out. Leon Slater, showcase. Lennox, showcase. So for me, it's Evans or Hendry. A part of me wants to say Hendry, but I think Hendry versus Saints could be your stand and deliver main event. So for that reason, I'm going to go for Evans here for New Year's Evil. And I wonder
Evans wins it.
He could do, because it'd be a great way to start the year. But I wonder if Ricky Saints is going to turn heel in the new year.
Yeah, he almost feels like he needs it. Like you mentioned, they're about to lose Femi. Trick Williams is probably going to go as well. Exactly. They're going to be lacking some major heel main eventers, and Ricky Saints easily fits that spot. So it does make a lot of sense.
And then Joe Hendry, of course, is your face. Evans is face as well. And Hendry and Saints can be your main event stand and deliver. Just for me, it makes the perfect sense. I think perhaps Javon Evans could win the North American Championship, maybe. Could be his first title. Taste of gold. Look, Evans is ready for main roster like everyone else, but he's so young. Yeah. And I know he says he gets offended by hearing it, but like he doesn't need to win it just yet. But hell, he could be stand and deliver as well, and he could win the title there. I think that this is the start of Javon Evans getting to be permanent main eventer. It's the starting block.
Yeah. The problem we've had with Javon Evans is for ages we've been saying he should be the one to take the title off of Femi. He should be the one. Like the amount of times he's tried to overcome Femi and win that title. And like if Oba wins, then yeah, sure. If Oba wins the title, Javon Evans is winning this and taking that title off him at New Year's Eve. 100%. That's how that's been booked. I just think that, like I said, I don't think Oba needs it. And yeah, Javon's just been around for so long now that it's almost like you get to. Do you know what? He's very close to entering LA Knight territory, where he should have done something by now to be in that main event scene, to be winning that title. And I think that's what you have to kind of be worried with him about it. So he could be the person to win this.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Yeah. Final prediction.
I won't lie. My enthusiasm for this show has gone up to a 10, by the way, after this. But yeah, I'm going to go with Dion Lennox. I think he's the most logical booking for someone who can take a loss at New Year's Evil.
Javon Evans, I want to see the story play out of him and Saints. And Saints did just ignore him to get himself into the title picture, then checked on him afterwards, that heat wave. And I think we've been waiting to play something with that. And I think here's where we'll start doing that. So whether that leads then to full on stand and deliver Javon Evans having his moment, or this is just a near miss and it gets Saints to be a heel, one or the other, but it should be interesting either way. So yeah, count me in. I'm up for it. So let's go for it. CD here, let's get bottom comments, bring it on first. Saints versus Jordan Evans will main event, the NXT Championship will stand and deliver. So he's calling that here and now. Tim says if Evans wins, I will turn off Deadline. I want to see Joe Hendry win. I believe in Joe Hendry. So there you are. Ray also says Joe Hendry should win.
Should, could, would, maybe.
Tim says, will NXT Deadline be better than Survivor Series? I bloody well hope so.
Yes. Survivor Series was garbage. Apart from the main event, that was okay.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to me ramble for an hour and 15 minutes about how trash it was, by all means, go and watch that. Please, honestly, go and watch me talk about Jey Uso yeeting, because you'll love that.
To be fair, we're not always sour.
We're not there. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, we find
it's very rare that I'm negative. I'd love to remember what the boring one was I did. I can't remember what one it was. I just constantly said it was boring the whole way through.
I think it was Fastlane when it was Rollins versus Nakamura. Fastlane, I want to say 23. That's when Jey Uso and Cody won the tag titles. I want to say that's the place. Yeah, dying to call this one up because this was the other member I saw at Dark State potentially being a standout is Jaquan Sugars. I hope I'm saying that correctly because I always struggle with his name. But yeah, I mean, he just really... He's got great character work. I mean, literally, you feel like you're watching a dangerous man when he speaks, and the way he portrays.
He was the one that
presentation.
He was the one that was taunting over Femi as well when he walked in. I was dying from that. I was like, "Oh man, that guy's won me over already just by making me laugh."
He every time ruffles feathers, and it's good to see. He's going to be a player in WWE as well. He's going to be a player.
That's the most important thing in WWE is character. If you have character, you could be the worst wrestler. Look at the Ultimate Warrior, the garbage in ring, but Jesus Christ, the character was phenomenal.
Certainly, indeed. Lennox is pretty good, though. He says.
He is.
Dave says, when do you think there'll be Main roster call-ups from NXT, maybe after WrestleMania. Dave says, I think that's probably the safest time to predict it. There may be one or two around Royal Rumble season. There seems to be one or two these days at the Rumble. Roxanne Perez
should be the one.
Yeah, I think Femi's next. I think Femi's at the Rumble. Yeah. Then the rest, I think, is after Mania.
If I had to pick one male, one woman, it should be Femi. He's so main roster ready now. A female, I think of anyone, it's probably Fatal Attraction that should be called up, because I think they're the same as Toxic Attraction. They've been around for so long, and they've kind of done everything. Like, if she was to lose that title at New Year's Eve, I wouldn't be against the three of them coming up and just being a faction on main roster, and maybe even putting some effort into that tag team division.
I will say Femi, yes. I would say Jada Parker is your next call-up currently.
Jada Parker needs an NXT win. She could be the next Bianca Belair. I think she's got so much character and so much in-ring potential, but I think she needs an NXT championship win.
She needs to change her finisher for me. That's her main problem. Finisher? She runs and hits them with a hip, and half of the time
in the corner.
If the camera angle isn't right, if the camera angle goes slightly off, you can see she blatantly doesn't hit them. So,
is it like Becky Lynch having her head crushed against the cage? Yeah,
kinda. Yeah, along that. Yeah. You know where I'm going with that. Tim says, do you hate Robert Stone? Not personally. I do. He wants to bring back Robbie E. I mean, Robbie E was fun back in the day. I used to like Jersey Shore as well, so I'm not against it.
Robert Stone's great. Robert Stone's always a guy that you could just powerbomb into a dumpster and he'd do it every week. He's there for pure comical relief.
I do miss his interactions with Stevie Turner. Bring back Stevie Turner.
Yeah.
Ray also asked about NXT corners, which I think we've covered there. Would it make sense for Myles Borne to pick number 3 so he can be fresh and still have time to get pinfalls too? Yeah, we've suggested number 4 is a sweet spot though.
I generally didn't think about time remaining for that match, which is why you wouldn't pick number 5. Yeah, it's such a clever thing to do, picking 3 or 4. Unless you're someone like Femi who could come in at 5, destroy everyone and get loads of pinfalls. Yeah, it's such a... I'll tell you what, this match type is so good, isn't it? Because the possibilities are just so endless with how you could book the match. Planning these kinds of things out is so good, man.
Absolutely indeed. Ray says, I believe in Thea Hale. There you are. Say her name. Do you believe? You clearly do.
I do.
I do. She's not my favourite.
Leg clap.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think if they gave her a consistent run on TV, because she's been in so many spots where she should be doing something, and then they just drop her for a couple of months.
Yeah, that's the thing. She needs more consistency. I was thinking this week when I watched Thea Hale, was like, I miss her with Chase U, but I miss Chase U. Andre Chase is screwed now with the new formation of the group. It's god awful. Yeah, it's done. It's completely done. But when it was
same
Chase
as Tony
and Thea Hale, it worked so well.
Yeah, it's the same with Tony D'Angelo. Like, the guy's been off TV for almost. I think it's got to be close to a year. I think.
No, it's not that long.
He's probably getting towards a year, but still, his character is so kind of one-dimensional. It's kind of like, well, where do you put him on the roster? I think actually he's been injured, to be fair. But yeah, he's just kind of he's so one-dimensional. It's like, how does a guy like that and a character like that transition? And he's kind of in the same boat as Andre Chase.
I do worry for Tony D on the main roster right now. I do, when he goes up.
That was always my problem with Andre Chase, was how does University Professor get over on main roster? It's a real 90s character. Even like Tony D'Angelo, it's a bit more. I think if they made him a bit more dark and brooding, it would probably get over more. Like if he genuinely was still doing the things where he's kidnapping people in the boots of cars and, do you know what I mean, making them go for a swim with the fishes kind of thing. I think he'd be a lot more interesting.
I think Chase U works with the comedy roles, and I think they could have been great working amongst GM sort of stuff. And I think Andre Chase would have been a great GM. Problem is, we got 2 fantastic GMs, probably 2 of the best of all time. So we're not changing them over anytime soon. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to work out how he fits in right now. CD says you might be shocked. Got Dion Lennox winning this. It's another vote for Dion.
Not for me, CD.
There you are.
Not for me, CD. Any goofball names come up yet?
No, they haven't gone for them. We'll have to do some of our own if not. Tim says, are you against watching Saudi Arabia WWE PLEs like some people are? We watch them.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously stood against them years ago when the whole thing started. But the thing, to be honest, it's a really greedy thing. But it's the time that it's on, and it's very rare we get pay-per-views that we get to watch. Like, it's a bit more often now, especially with like Backlash in France, and like we get them all over the world now, so the viewing time's a bit better. But the Rumble is my favourite pay-per-view of the year, and I kind of can't not watch it live and especially with the time, it's going to be on at like 5 or 6 o'clock on a Saturday. That's perfect. It means I haven't got to stay up till 4 o'clock.
I mean, I'm not going to miss a Rumble. I'm not going to miss a Mania. The thing is, do I wish the shows maybe somewhere else? Yeah, I'm not saying it's my favorite thing in the world, but at the same time, they're happening whether I watch it or don't. It's nothing to do with what I pick or not. So I'm a wrestling fan. I watch a wrestling show. If people it'll be on the moon, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, and if people were honestly, if people wanted to take a bigger deal out of it, people wouldn't watch it, and the viewership numbers would be zero. But unfortunately, people watch it. People spend money, and they're making so much money from it. So there's not a lot we can do about it. So unfortunately, it's kind of like you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's just what it is. It's a 3-hour wrestling show. End of the day, it just happens to be somewhere else. That's it. Ray says, bring back the Black and Gold NXT 1 hour on the network like Bobby Roode, best heel to ever be in NXT. I mean, Black and Gold was a glorious time.
I'm sorry. Did we not have Tommaso Ciampa as the greatest heel in NXT history, especially in the Black and Gold era? That guy had an entrance to no music. No one has ever done that before. That guy was a legend.
He was a legend. He was a legend indeed. Right, hold on. I'm trying to find, I believe it was Ray's question from very early in the stream. I'm just going to try and find it for us now. So referring to Natalya and Maxine Dupree. If I can't find the comment, I know the question anyway. So let's just go with the question. So yeah, what were your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this past week? We got a video package of Maxine Dupree and Natalya in the dungeon, and it looked like we were getting a debuting Natty Neidhart rather than Natalya. I thought it was exceptional.
I thought the promo was great. My problem is this should have been done weeks before she won the IC title off of Becky, and now she's IC champion. Why is it only now that she's a champion that she's doing these vignettes? Like, logically, story-wise, why is she only now going into the dungeon? When I suppose you've got the whole, well, now you're a champion, you kind of have to up your game. So that side of it possibly makes sense. So there is logic to it. I'm not against it. Like I said, I think it makes Maxine Dupree a bit more interesting. I hope that this isn't, here's one promo, here's a new version of Maxine Dupree. Like, in terms of TV, is 1 week of training in the dungeon supposed to make you that much more of a better IC champion? These vignettes, if they carry on for a couple more weeks, I'll be a lot more happy with them. If it's one and done, it fails for me. But yeah, I'm interested by Natty coming back, and that people have always got a problem with Natty because she's part of that Divas generation where the sport's kind of moved on, and it's almost like a lot of people feel like she's just clutching onto straws at this point and hanging around. But Natty has a place on the roster. A reinvention is, my God, so long overdue for Natty as well. Like, she's just been Natalya forever. Like, I don't think she's ever been anything other than the female version of what Bret Hart should have been. Do you know what I mean? So if we get something that's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more edgy, a little bit darker, new music as well. Lose the Bret Hart rip-off music, for the love of God. Because every time I would hear it, it would piss me off because I think Bret Hart was coming out. But, yeah, like I said, if they can give her a brand new character and it makes Maxine a bit more believable, gives her a bit more of a vicious side to her, I'll be all for it.
Look, for me, the video package on Raw, I don't think is one and done. Look,
I hope not.
Natalia, Maxine Dupree has been training in the Heart Dungeon with Natalia and Tyson Kidd. She's revealed that on Chris Van Vliet. She's been doing stuff with Tyler Breeze's school, which I think is with Sean Spears as well. She's in different schools training, and she's getting all the tips and everything that you would get on the indies and stuff, and how to make it in the business. And she's learning on the job. And I think that she's
very green still.
Yeah, she is very green, but that's part of her character as well. She's learning, and she's learning from some of the best trainers and some of those ones that are veterans out there. And I think that it's a really good look. And the way that they're now taking Natalia off TV for Maxine Dupree to show she can do it on her own, win a title. Okay, she technically got help with the distraction from AJ Lee, but she did it on her own twice before against Becky Lynch, picking up victories. So now we have a sense of that Natty is putting Maxine through pretty much testing to see if she can get to the next level and get through these training sessions. But ultimately, I think it's going to lead to Natalia versus Maxine, because there's going to be a bit of a jealousy factor kicking in with this as well. We get this character then come in of Natty Neidhart onto Raw, which should be quite interesting. Like you say, Natalia's needed refreshing for a long time as well. This is an exciting mid-card feud that they could be doing on Raw right now, because there's actually a character that's over, a fresh character coming in that people are dying to see over the one that they've had that's been stale for about over a decade. There's something that can actually make really, really work here. So, yeah, I don't think this is the only video package of this either. I think we're going to see a couple more of these ones before this basically is being done to bring in Natty Neidhart. This is like your 3 or 4 weeks of training videos to bring her in as that character and to be the backup of Maxine before turning on her.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how they do, because ultimately this is rewriting Maxine Dupree's booking, because obviously she was in NXT for the shortest period. She was then brought up with Max Dupree as part of the management team for Maximum Male Models, and she essentially didn't do anything for ages. She'd wrestle very intermittently, very every once in a while, and she's kind of, like I said, she's still green. So this is almost like just trying to almost relaunch Maxine Dupree as well as a wrestler, and a more credible one, instead of a goofball character that she's kind of been for the last 2-3 years. So we're trying to get her away from that side. Putting her with Natty is great. The problem I have is that there's probably other women on there that would, if you're going to ultimately go with a Natty Neidhart versus Maxine Dupree for an IC title, there are other women that would benefit more from winning the IC title than Natty Neidhart. So the only thing I can think they would do is bring Natty in to eventually lose to Maxine, to make Maxine a bit more credible in terms of in-ring ability. And obviously, if they're training together, they're going to build up a really good chemistry. So technically, if they was to have an IC title match, the chemistry should be phenomenal. They should knock it out of the ring. It should be a great match. But then I don't want Natty to come in with this brand new character and then lose to Maxine Dupree, unless Maxine Dupree is of a credible nature that she could beat Natty, because Natty should wipe the floor with her, really. So they're playing a very risky balance here with booking this right, depending on where it goes, and just in general the end goal. Like if Maxine Dupree's going to come out as a more credible wrestler, and Natty's not going to look like she's the one that's been wrestling for 25 years, but yet losing to someone who's been wrestling for 2 years in a really crap match.
Understandably, but in WWE's world, Natty Neidhart has already debuted in AAA and there's not winning matches there. So I think that the idea is to put the new talent over. So I think Maxine Dupree would ultimately win that story.
Yeah, they've just got to make it credible.
That's all they have to do, and I think they're on the path of doing it. Give Natty Neidhart a nice title run. Be up for that, says Ray. Look, it's synonymous with the Hart family. Bret Hart, Owen Hart hold the title, so Natty's, why not? Do you know what I mean? Ray doesn't want her to lose to Maxine Dupree, though. I mean, they are good friends. They are training buddies. I think Natty would want to do it. See, this is nothing against Maxine Dupree, but how does she become IC title, win the IC title before Chad Gable? Chad Gable's injured. That's pretty much how it's worked in this year, anyway.
Yeah.
It's just one of those
Gable
things.
Is just so. Chad Gable, for the last 2 years, should be doing so much. We should be a multiple-time mid-card champion at this point.
He's been missing for a long time. I mean, this is the new upstart, Iguana Americano. People thought it was him, but now people think it's Ludwig Kaiser. I can't really make much sense of it, really. But let's be patient. Maybe Chad Gable
will win a title before Chad Gable.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we're off
When's
course.
this WrestleMania match card coming out?
We'd talk off there. My work schedule is just killing me at the minute. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, anyway, right, we're going to wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. An hour and a half in. Speaking of work, I've got it in the morning, so look after yourselves and each other. Make sure to the like button, share with a friend, subscribe as well, all that good stuff and all that jazz, and enjoy NXT Deadline. And if you want a review, let us know in the comments below. Maybe we'll give you one. Take care. Bye.